Napalm, Jedd Johnson of DieselCrew.com, and today I am joined only by Alan T. Hynek, Esquire. Alan, how you doing today, brother?
Oh, not too bad. Busy day. Starting to see some snowflakes up here in Wisconsin. How are things down the Pennsylvania way?
No, you keep that stuff out your way, bro. I don't need any of that stuff.
A little earlier than I was hoping for up here.
No kidding, man. It's not even Halloween yet. Gee whiz.
Not.
This is episode 111 of This Week in Grip, everybody. I want to remind you to go and take a minute now to just hit that thumbs up button. We're looking for 10% of the views being likes. So we did a great job last week. Holy cow. Over 10% likes compared to views. So do that once again. As always, we welcome your feedback, so be sure to leave a comment below. Don't be afraid to share this video with anyone that you'd like to. I saw several people shared this on Facebook last week and got some good discussion out there in Facebook world, and we're going to look at some of the comments that came regarding last week's King Kong show. And also, don't forget to subscribe so that you stay up to date on all new videos that come out of the channel, as well as episodes of This Week in Grip. So, like I said, this is episode 111 of This Week in Grip, and our primary objective today is to go over the comments that were left on the show last week, and then we will go over to the Grip Strength group, where I believe it was Jesse Pignonin that put up a post regarding his predictions and asking for everyone else's predictions. So starting on YouTube, if you go to episode 110 right now, then you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about. And the first one up is Casey Tracy, who I think is Chris Tracy's wife, maybe? I don't know. But she says, yay, Chris Tracy for a mention. So this is what I'm envisioning here. Chris Tracy is training and listening to This Week in Grip at the same time and knocking out huge PRs. And then every time that he puts out a war hoop, because he set a PR, his wife comes out and checks on him just to make sure he hasn't dropped something on his leg or something like that. Alan, what do you think?
That's probably right. Yep.
So we're glad to see, assuming that's his wife. Maybe I don't know. I don't know who that would be, but yeah, it looks like it because it's got I clicked over on Casey Tracy's YouTube channel and it's Chris Tracy reading some kind of bedtime story to his son. So that's pretty cool. Skipping down a little bit. This one is from Mike Rinderly. He says, Jedd and Jesse battle it out for first overall. Ardo, Lane, and Millard fight it out for Masters #1. And new world record on Dove Hub is 80 pounds. He goes, I will win the ladies class going away. So I think that, I don't know if we talked about the Masters class last week, Alan. Do you recall? Did we touch on that?
It briefly got mentioned because Mike Rinderly was going to be in the Masters class.
Oh, okay.
But otherwise, and I think we might have thrown Ardo into the mix, but truthfully, I don't know. When I think of those guys, I don't actually even consider them, in the Masters class. To be quite honest, I think they still hang regardless.
Yeah.
So that didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, that kind of stuff doesn't register for me. It's like hand size stuff and things like that. I don't even think about it most of the time.
Mm-hmm. World record on the Dove Hub, 80 pounds. That's I could see that. I could see that happening.
Well, and I saw that Eric Hussein actually posted on the Grip Strength group. We'll get to that later, but he said something about 82 or 83 pounds on the Dove Hub. So, I mean, I don't know who these freaks are that are doing 82, 83 pounds, but I hope they don't ever come up behind me and pinch one of my love handles, because that ain't going to feel very good, bro.
Yeah. You see, Mike Rinderly actually had a typo in here. He forgot the M in the Dove Hub.
Yes, I see that.
Noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, he left that out.
He even edited it and still overlooked it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it is edited and still missed the M in the Dove Hub. Yeah, dude. But he made up for it by making another comment, because he says, if you come at me, you better come heavy or don't come at all.
Yeah. What kind of flask lift does he have in him? He's pulling pretty high. He's in the hundreds.
He's consistently up over 100 pounds now. I wouldn't even doubt 50 kilos out of him.
Yeah,
he's
going to finish way up there. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Philo68 comes in with the comment, my prediction, Pain. You know what movie that's from, right?
Yes. Rocky 3.
Yes. And then Joe Sullivan, who is really good with the movie quotes, and also with song lyrics, by the way. He really is good at being able to understand all song lyrics, including like early 90s hip-hop and rap. He's really good with that stuff. He comes in and says, go get him, Clubber, in response to Philo68. All right, so go ahead. Did I cut you off?
Who is Philo68?
Philo68 is Phil Brown. Is that his last name? For some reason, I'm drawing a blank. He's a lifetime member at thegripauthority.com. He every single post he puts up, comment on the site.
Okay.
His I can remember his email address. It's Johnny Depth. Bill, I think it's Brown.
So is he a big squatter or something?
I'm sorry?
Okay. Is he a big squatter? Is that what that comes from, Johnny Depp? Oh, okay.
I think it's more, it is. It's Phil Brown. No, I think that's more of depth of something else, buddy. Going deep somewhere else.
Okay.
Personally.
My head was in the right place, I guess.
Yeah, that was my guess. Jake Fuller came in and left a post. You know the name Jake Fuller?
Yes, I do. I can't really. I just heard the name.
Yeah. Well, he's a New Englander guy, and he's supposed to be moving to the Syracuse area if he hasn't already. And I've spoken with him a few times about coming down to train. So he says, "Wish I could make it out, Jedd, but I have to fly out to Kentucky. I'll be down soon to have a good training session. Best of luck to all those competing." And I asked what was going on that was so important in Kentucky that he has to miss this great comp. And he says 2 weeks of training on a new aircraft, which that doesn't sound too important to me. That sounds like a really bad excuse. No, I'm just being funny. That sounds like.
Well, if nothing else, too, Kentucky isn't terribly far from Tennessee. I don't think he can make a little day trip and compete at Gill's place.
Well, that's a good point. He should go to Gill's place and compete. That's right.
Yeah.
And then we have a post that was made by Chris Tracy, and he says, I'm thinking Tanner and Hari fighting it out for number 1 overall. And Rindo comes in and says, not great events for Tanner, but he will definitely be in the mix. Your 2 plus Jedder and Jesse will definitely be in the fight for number 1. Chris says, I think so. I'm excited to see the numbers. Rindo says, I'm excited to see you pull 80 on the dumb hub. So there, he was able to work that M in there. And Chris says, man, that was the goal I set for myself in the beginning. It's going to be close. You're going to be close too. And Ari comes in and says, thanks for support, but my horn is too weak. I know all about that. He says, also, shallow hub is sometimes hard. Claw style stresses my joints badly. I put my money on Jesse this year, which Jesse definitely has a good chance this year of coming out on top, depending on how the chips fall. No doubt about it. So
I could still see Hari pulling a good number on the shallow hub, though. But he is, most of the times I'd seen his lifts, he was always more of a purist with his style of grabbing things. So I would guess that maybe it's a hard shift for him to kind of go with that weird thumb wrap to put some serious weight on it.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah,
I sure can't do anything with it. I can't grab it. I can lift more like the claw style than I can if I get that funky. Oh, other people are doing it. You know,
really?
I see like Circle Peterman. I can't do anything with that. It feels like I should be able to lift a ton that way, but then the second I just take a pull on it, just all falls apart. I just can't. I can't tie it together for some reason.
Well,
I gave up on it.
I'm like 50-50 on that. Like 50% good lifts, 50% as soon as it breaks the ground, it falls out of my hand. So there's certainly something about it that I haven't figured out yet. I mean, it's really unpredictable. So
yeah.
Even up to yesterday, I totally skipped Flask, didn't even want to touch it, so sick and tired of it, and focused on crusher work and dumb hub work, and it was so completely unpredictable. Like my work set weights, I would lift and then miss, lift, miss, lift, miss. It was totally back and forth the whole time. So
even on the crusher?
Excuse me, not on the crusher, just on the dumb hub.
Oh, okay.
The crusher I'm not too concerned about, but the hub is just a fiasco in the making.
Yeah, the hub in general has always been kind of finicky for me like that too. I have good days and bad, even with like the Iron Mine hub, but generally the trend is always up. But I just can't put anything together on this one for whatever reason.
Right. So now, I guess that's all the comments that are on episode 110. Alan, do you want to switch over and go to grip strength, or was there anything else you wanted to cover there?
No, I'm ready to switch. Trying to bring those up right now.
All right. Well, why don't you lead us off, dude? Because I gotta still get in there into that group. So go ahead and everybody else can get there while I get prepared. But
all right. So Jesse Panonin put up a post in the grip strength group, calling it the King Kong predictions thread. It says, share your predictions on what is needed to win each event. Overall, men/women who wins each weight class, or your prediction of the weather that day. So that's clever. See if I can bring up a little more here. Okay, and then he goes on to list what he thinks it looks like are going to be some top lifts, I'm guessing. So the Flask, he has 110 pounds, Crusher 215, Little Bighorn 240, and the Shallow Hub 66. So Jesse's sandbagging a bit. We know he's doing, especially on the Flask and the hub, he's pulling more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So, trying to bring up the comments here.
Well, and he's been consistent. He is talking about being top 5. So, one interaction he and I had on Facebook at one point was he said that as long as you were in like 60 and above, you wouldn't lose too many points on the hub at King Kong. So he's saying if you can get 66 or more, and you'll be in the top 5. That seems a little bit low to me. I think a lot more people are going to be over 66 than we realize. You're not seeing many videos from anybody on that lift. And
no, really not.
Some of the ones, like some of the people that have put up videos, they've put up videos of the claw style, and who knows, something might come together where everything all of a sudden clicks here in these last couple weeks, and they might end up, 5-10 pounds heavier. Nah, maybe not 10, but 4 or 5, 6 pounds heavier than what they have been. So I think 66 is going to be a little bit low to be in the top 5 myself, but
yeah, I think you're right. I think it'd be quite a bit heavier than that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Flask 110. I don't know, man. I mean, who can you think of right now that's done 110 on the Flask besides Jesse and me? I think Dan Fleming, over maybe a couple years ago, put that up. Has Gil ever put up a video of 110 or higher on the Flask that you recall?
No, I don't know that he has. I'm just trying to think here. I'm not sure what Tanner's doing. I guess I would put, if Adam Glass competes, I would put him up there. Mm-hmm. Cody Burns also up there. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what Ardo's doing on it.
Mm-hmm. I would think Ardo could get 110.
Yeah. I'm not sure who some of the other bigger pinchers are out there. Right? Luke's getting upwards of 110, isn't he? He must be over.
Yeah, he'll get 110 this year, 110 plus.
Okay. All right. I don't know why Gil couldn't on that. He hasn't been posting, but that doesn't mean that it's not in his ability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a solid number for that.
Yeah. The crusher, the 215 pounds on the crusher is a solid pull. To me, 215 seems a lot more in reach than Little Bighorn of 240. 240 is so out of reach for me on the Little Bighorn. It's not even funny. And but that's probably a pretty accurate number as far as the top 5 is concerned. You know, considering the names that we talked about last week, I think that's pretty accurate for top 5. Top 5 cutoff is 240. 66 seems way too low. Flask, it just seems like there's a few more people that could do that on the flask, provided that it's a well-seasoned flask. You know, maybe the cleaning process that they're stipulating for King Kong this year will have enough effect that the crusher numbers will drop this year a little bit, and 215 will be a good cutoff number. It's hard to tell. And Andrew Pinky just put that video up this week of the cleaning process that everyone's supposed to follow for the crusher. And I saw that there was a lot of speculation whether or not Russia would follow those rules. I'm not sure if you saw that, Alan.
I did. Yeah. Yep. That was a good video he put together and everything.
Yeah.
For that. So. Yep.
I just don't know why. Why do you think everybody poops on the Russian promoters about following the rules on the crusher?
Well, you know, I guess I don't want to single anyone out in particular. One observation I've made is from some of the, I don't know, I guess the European venues. It seems like when they get implements, for whatever reason, they're able to get like immediately 10 years of chalk to stick to these things. Mm. And I always thought that always seemed a little suspect to me. Mm-hmm. Like how they were able to do it so fast, where everybody else, they got to fight like hell to do it. Mm-hmm. It just made me think there might be something. I mean, I don't want to point fingers, but
yeah,
somehow there's some artificial seasoning going on. It seems
right.
to me. And yeah, I don't know. So I could. Yeah, I don't want to go.
Well, yeah, who knows? We don't know what that's about. If anybody wants to put up some more specifics, I don't know anything about people not following protocol with crushers and such. The only thing that I saw last year was that one kid, that Krivik kid, put up his results before the contest was over. So, and I know that's not allowed. But maybe, language barrier, he wasn't aware of that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Eric posted a thing about that. It sounds like, it's not a capital offense. It doesn't disqualify or anything like that. But I think that's more or less going to hurt. That would hurt that specific venue more than anything.
Well,
because all of a sudden you give everybody else a target to hit.
Right. Had I seen that, I could have made an adjustment to my last attempt and only jumped, I believe it was 3 pounds. So if I would have gotten 3 pounds higher than my lift that got sent in, it would have given me first place on the. It would have given me first place or second place on the jug handle, and then one of my lifts didn't get reported correctly last year, and I said, screw it, who cares? So if I would have reported that number right on the moon top, and then gotten only 3 or 4 pounds more than what I got, instead of taking a 10-pound jump on my last attempt, I would have won the overall, because that kid had posted the number for Alexi, I believe, and Alexi ended up, I think, winning the event, and it was only like 283 or something like that. So if I would have gone like 284 instead of 290, then it would have resulted in a overall win.
Yeah.
So
see, that's exactly the crummy thing about that is you could micro-load the shit out of that. Like literally to a quarter kilo or something like that, enough to which is probably not unrealistic for a guy to be able to tack onto a lift, in the right moment. So
and I'll tell you, this year I'll have to review the rules to make sure that this is permissible, of course. But I got those micro gains plates from that guy, and I forget what his name is, but the plates are called micro gains. Mm-hmm. And they come with 2 1-pounders, 2 0.75-pounders, 2 half-pounders, and 2 quarter-pounder plates, and it's $35 shipped.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude. That's like way less than like Rogue plates. That's a much better value.
I have mine. I've got calibrated plates all the way down to 1/8 kilogram.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you pay a fortune for those,
Mm-hmm.
But literally, you could do that. You could. I mean, when you're talking just a few ounces, that's it's easy to whip that on something if you know somebody else's number and beat them, which is,
right.
I mean, it's a dirty, rotten thing to do.
Oh, but, yeah. We're not going to be looking at people's weights. Yeah, I hope that it's not.
No, it didn't. But that's what somebody could do if people are posting their crap ahead of time. There's going to be somebody watching for that. So. Right.
But if my buddy Chris Andrade gets a PR on the flask and only wants like a half pound more, then I can oblige that. I can throw that half pounder. They're calibrated plates, man. So.
Oh yeah, yep. That's a good thing to do. One thing I was going to do to keep the competition rolling, though, is we were still going to follow some minimum jumps.
Mm-hmm.
If something were to come along where there was like some guy shows up and he's like in world record territory, I can't believe we'd see that. But if they were, I would definitely make an exception personally.
Mm-hmm.
Throw something less on for the sake of bumping it.
Right.
But otherwise to speed things along, though, if you get to messing around with quarter pounds and stuff like that, you could be there all day for people.
Right. Yeah. It's probably would end up being the last attempt that we would do that. But I wouldn't make someone take a 2.5 pound jump when they just set a PR, an all-time PR.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you consider that such a small amount of weight can make such a big difference. I mean, it could end up that, like on the Dumb Hub, the winner ends up with only a quarter pound heavier than the second place person, and and that could space you out. A quarter pound could end up doing a lot, So
yeah, I definitely don't want to handicap anybody on that either, and that's the one thing where I wouldn't want to say the weakest competitor, but we're going to somewhere along the line start with a really lightweight for somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to set that tempo, and then we're going to build our jumps based off of that. So you could walk right past somebody's sweet spot in there if you have like a big jump, like 5 pounds or 10 pounds on something.
Right.
So yeah, which could be that could make or break you on some of that stuff.
Yep.
So,
yeah, for sure. So what jump, do you know, have you thought about it, what jumps you're going to be using for the individual events at your venue?
I was going to be going, it was going to be 2.5 kilograms on the crusher, and probably stick with that same thing on the anvil. Otherwise, it was going to be 1.25 kilos for the flask and the hub.
So 1.25, that's about 3 pounds.
2.5
pounds. 3 pounds. Yeah.
Yep. So I thought that was reasonable. It's enough of a jump that'll wash some people out, but it's not so much that people shouldn't be able to plan their attempts right and not fall into something decent for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. Nice, man. Cool. And then, do you already have a bunch of people signed up for your venue, Alan?
Not a bunch, unfortunately. I was talking with Joel just last night, and he had 4 aside from himself up his way, and then Devin's going to be coming up. So as it looks right now, 5 people. Got that one fellow that had been showing up here for the last few years. He wants to come a week early, so I was going to have him do that. So right now we're only sitting at like 6.
Oh.
Huh. So yeah, not the turnout we were expecting at all. I mean, I thought based on what went down over the summer, we'd be seeing upwards of 30.
Yeah.
But apparently, I don't know, just not the interest for whatever reason.
Alan, in your area, have you seen like a lot of stuff scheduled for that weekend, the weekend right before Halloween? Because I just got invited to like 3 events on the same day. One of them, they wanted me to perform as a strongman at a little event that weekend. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I have a competition. Is that like a popular weekend in your area? Do you know?
I don't know that it is. I do know that one guy has had a conflict for the last couple of years, so for whatever reason, he's had something going on that he wanted to compete early. Up where Joel is, there's like a kind of a strongman competition happening the next day. So it's not a direct conflict there unless people are, looking to save themselves maybe for that somehow. But, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't blame it on a calendar thing for anybody, I guess. I just, for whatever reason, there just isn't a ton of interest. But
right,
Joel kind of made a point that some of the implements are kind of expensive, and they are. And for people to buy these things and train specifically for it, it's just it's just too much of an investment, for a part-time thing for them. I know that was kind of, and that makes sense, when you think about if you don't do grip a lot, you go out and buy an anvil and a flask and the dub hub and a crusher, there's, with shipping, you're $350,
Yeah.
So that adds up pretty fast. So I definitely get it, but, well, you have a lot of other stuff going on up your way. Is that
there's a lot of stuff scheduled that day. We're a rural area, so there's like different there's stuff going on, like not flea markets, but what do they call them? They call them bazaars around here.
Oh, okay, but not like athletic type events that are going to be stopping people from it.
No, not athletic events. There's really nothing. I'm the only person that does anything like that around here.
Oh, okay.
So, there, on occasion, there might be a bench press or powerlifting meet in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, but that's like an hour and a half away. There's probably stuff that takes place in Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. They're both hour 15, hour 25 minutes away.
Sure.
But nothing right here in this county, dude. Heck, I haven't heard of anything besides like 5Ks going on around here in I don't know how long.
No, there's literally nothing like that. Nothing happens around here at all. It seems like. So it's like a walk once in a while for like I don't know, cancer awareness or something like that, and they do that.
Yeah.
MS walks and all that, but that's about it. But
right.
Andrew and Eric though, they make this announcement for King Kong well in advance. It's not like they post it 2 weeks out. I mean, it was almost a year. Like they announced it just right after the last one closed.
Right.
It seemed like. So yeah, plenty of time for people to get it on their radars.
Yeah, and I almost think it's like the last weekend in October every year. So.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't land like right on Halloween or something like that, I guess I don't know why people couldn't fit it in if they're interested.
Right. Well, this year I'm, of course, I'm operating out of the gym in town again. So I know there's some people that are looking to hang out for a little bit, like Anthony Clarino. I know he's coming in.
Oh, nice.
And we talked about hanging out a little bit afterwards, and right down the street there's a bar and grill type place called the Wyalusing Hotel. So we could potentially have some fun there afterwards, but who knows what's going to happen.
You bringing any other New Yorkers with him?
I hope so. I hope he brings all kinds of them. I hope it's a real big group, but I don't know. I haven't heard yet. Haven't heard quite yet.
Sure.
I haven't gotten any registrants so far, so I just put up an event thing. No. But I never do. I never do, dude. For King Kong, it's like just show up. So
okay.
There's no preparation. I'm running the contest anyway. So
yeah.
But I did put up that I don't know what you ended up deciding for your charge, but I'm charging $30 to each.
I actually think we did 40 actually.
Okay. Yeah.
For ours this time. Yeah.
You have to rent a facility, right?
Yeah, the guy is, I'm not sure, Joel made that arrangement. He has a relationship with the guy that has that up there. But, we didn't have a choice but to bump it up this year, with just because the fees increased and there's that per competitor thing for shipping. I get all that. But in the past, I'd always charged $20, and I'd have finished well in the hole if I'd have done that this year.
Yep.
So, so we had no choice but to bump it up. I wasn't looking to make a profit or anything like that, but I don't want it to. I mean, I've already invested in the equipment. I don't want it to be an additional expense, on top of that. So.
Oh, I hear you. And then I'm pretty sure that my guy Evan is going to compete out to your location. I don't know if I told you that.
No, but that's great.
That big guy that thinks he's tough and he's going to take over one day here in Wyalusing. That guy, he's out there for training for 6 weeks, getting a heavy machinery type certification at a school.
Oh, beautiful.
In Madison. So he's been training, and he'll be, as far as I know, he's going to be competing. So I'll probably end up connecting you guys via messenger at some point.
Well, yeah, did he fly in? Because if he needed a lift or something, if he could make it down, he could sure ride up with me. If you talk to him, pass it along.
Right. I think he's driving. I think he's driving his truck out.
Oh, oof,
so
that sucks.
Yeah, that's a hike, but yeah.
Well,
so
yeah,
but he'll be able
economy.
to. Maybe he can come over and hit a training session at some point.
Yeah.
But I'll connect you guys. Yep.
Putting gas in a truck and driving all that distance it costs you like $5,000. Huh.
Yeah, well, probably. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't own a truck. That's why I own a soccer mom car.
Well, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
All right.
Well,
cool. Everybody's been sitting on this thread on Facebook for the predictions, and we haven't read anything. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading these, Alan, and then we can comment. So Ari was the first person to weigh in, and he says, looks like I am aiming top 10 this time. Flask, I do over 50 kilograms, but Horn, 108 kilograms, never, ever. So he's kind of with a dismal post, and I came in there, I'm up the creek with no paddle this year. Chris Andrade says, same, brother. Do people say that where you're from, Alan? Like, instead of saying, I agree or whatever, they'll say same, just same?
We do hear that once in a while, yep.
Yeah.
That fits enough this way.
All right, cool. Thomas Larson, I'm not aiming for anything this year, ... Not enough King Kong training and too tired. What do you think about that, Alan?
I think he's lying.
Yeah,
I think he's got some good strengths that he's sitting on.
I think his natural.
Even if he
levels.
wasn't training, even if that's true, he's still got it in him to finish way up there.
Right.
No two ways about it.
Yep. Ari says, drink a few pint of milk and relax. You do well again for sure. And Thomas says, good advice. Thomas doesn't drink alcohol, so his beverage of choice is milk, I believe, milk and water. Then Yessie comes in and says, Lucas Raymond, are you in the 105 kilogram class? And Lucas says, yes, but only by 2 pounds. I weigh 94.2 kilograms.
But he's going to get down to 93K, right?
Oh, I'm sure of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless Better has him out eating seafood 3 nights in a row.
Well, I was going to say, if he had some bad eggs over that way, he might dump a lot of weight real fast.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to have to remind Luke that, too, before I go over there. Don't eat the raw egg dish at the Japanese restaurant. Oh, my gosh, dude.
He might make 83K if he does that, right?
Yeah, he'll be down there quick. Oh, my golly. Wow. If anybody is not familiar with that story, the second time I went to Dubai with Better Alawadi, Lane Snook and I and Better went to this Japanese restaurant the night before we left. Absolutely beautiful restaurant. I'm not saying anything bad about the restaurant whatsoever, but they served us this dish where you dunked, I think it was beef, some kind of beef into this raw egg. Tasted amazing. I've never had a raw egg in my life. I never did the Rocky Balboa deal where you crack the eggs into the glass and drink them. And by doing that, I got sick so bad. Coming home from that trip was fine. Got to the house and instantly had just ridiculous diarrhea. It was terrible, and I blame it on the raw egg. Who knows what the actual cause was, but my golly, don't do that. I don't wish that on anybody. It was terrible.
And so now you can't even have like raw cookie dough batter anymore, right?
Dude, I have never had raw cookie dough. I don't know about you, but I'm allergic to salmonella. Like I'm tough, but I ain't that tough. That's like
me too, but that's a risk. That's worth the risk on that one.
I don't know,
it's
man.
That good.
I don't know about that. No, never done it. Never done it, bro.
Okay.
At least not in my adult years. Maybe as a child when a memory I can't remember, but not in my adult years. No. Gee whiz.
Well, maybe in a week then after partying with Anthony Clarino, you'll go and just get a big tub of it and go to town. You'll just try it and be brave then.
Yeah.
I think so. It's in your mind now.
Okay. All right. The seed is planted. We're getting into some good discussion here coming up, Alan. This post is from Gil Goodman. He says, Yessie, you're looking pretty healthy this year, so I think you'll definitely give Alexi a run for his money. I haven't seen anything from Carl. I believe he means Myerscough, so it's possible that he has a bad event that knocks him out of the top 5. I'm hoping to beat Tanner in at least one event to make up for getting stomped by him in the Crusher. Yeah, we're all looking forward to that pleasure of getting stomped by Tanner in the Crusher. What did Carl pinch on the one-hand flask? Do you know, Alan? You remember anything?
I don't remember, but didn't he have the two-hand flask world record?
Yeah, I think the first time he ever heard the word flask. Not just seeing the implement, but I don't think he ever heard the word flask before and went up and smashed a two-hand pinch PR or a world record. So,
yeah. No, I don't. But I know he wasn't pinching anywhere near half of that, but I thought he was still up over 110. I could be wrong, but he was up there pretty high.
Well, Jesse comes in with some either good memory or he went back and reviewed the results. But he says Carl lost points on the flask and the Moontop last year, but you never know. Tank could lose some points on Shallow Hub, but last year he did surprisingly well on the Moontop. Krivik had trouble with the flask last year and possibly Shallow Hub if he doesn't have that implement. I believe Jedd Johnson isn't sandbagging too much when he says his little bighorn isn't on the level it should be for the win. Tons of variables go into who wins, which makes King Kong so exciting. I'm feeling stronger than ever for sure, but it all comes down to how well I can peak for the contest. I've worked tons on my crusher and thick bar, at least as last year I was around 86 kilograms or 190 pounds. I say, Jesse, I am definitely not sandbagging on the LBH. I've never locked out 100 kilograms, and pulling to 6 inches makes no difference for me. I'm just no good at owner deviated support events. And Gil comes back. I don't want to discount Ivan either. I know he was badass at Moontop, so I expect his Shallow Hub to be pretty good. And we know he is nuts on the Little Bighorn. And, I mean, Krivik has done at least 250 on the Little Bighorn, so dude is a monster.
It's a lockout?
Yeah, it looked like lockout. Pretty darn close. I mean,
okay.
I can go back and look. Maybe, do you have the... I'll dig this up, and you can go over the comment there that Eric Russain put up.
Yeah, so Eric posted, it says, my predictions for the top, get this product here. My predictions for the top weights lifted in each event: Flask, 128 pounds, Crusher, 240, Shallow Hub, 83, and Little Bighorn, 262. This is predictions for a top 5 result in each lift: Flask, 115, Crusher, 223, Shallow Hub, 78, and Little Bighorn, 242.
This 125.7 from Krivik was absolutely to lockout, bro. Right there, smashed it.
Oh, nice.
I forget how much 125.7 kilograms is. We talked about it last week. I can add it up real quick, though. So
he's at 220 plus 55?
Roughly, dude, that's 276.
Yeah. Well, that's a shit. Well, you know what? I mean, I guess I definitely thought people would get in the 275 range.
Mm-hmm.
Luke was my guy for that one, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, it's out there.
Yeah.
Shit, especially if we smoked at the lockout like that. That's ridiculous.
Dude. It looked easy.
You don't see that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out. It's fourth event though.
Yeah.
So that's gonna hurt things a little bit, but
that's true. That's true, man. Fourth event. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean that could you might have the wind knocked out of your sails a bit at that point. So
especially in the case where a dude has to use the same hand on all the events, never mixes it up, that could knock their Little Bighorn down a little bit, I guess. A long event, a long contest, 12, 13, 14 attempts, multiple tries every time up on the platform, maybe not drinking enough water or getting enough food. Yeah, that could knock down a person's top Little Bighorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably see the best events, with the Flask and the Crusher right out of the gate. After that, your thumb would have taken a beating at that point. And,
yeah.
I'm
surprised Eric puts 128 for the top flask pull when we've already seen Jesse do 130 to basically full lockout on the flask. That's an interesting Interesting call right there. I wonder if maybe he didn't see that lift from Jesse.
Yep. He's pretty calculating, though. I mean, that number probably wasn't just some random guess. I'm imagining he put some thought into it.
Yeah.
So, I think, I guess I don't know about the Flask. I think the Crusher, I don't know why we couldn't see 240 on that. Mm-hmm. The Hub, I don't think is unrealistic for top. And Little Bighorn, I definitely thought we'd see higher than that, though. No two ways about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, otherwise, I guess I think he's pretty much spot on. His top 5 results, so Flask and the 115.
Yeah,
that
makes more sense to me than the 110 that we saw from Jesse's.
Mm-hmm.
The 115 makes a little more sense to me.
Well, Eric's was top 5 result in each. Jesse's was each class, right? They weren't really saying the same thing here. Yeah, Jesse had top 5 in each class.
Oh, yeah, okay. That
and Eric's saying overall,
a little bit different. Yeah.
See, like 83K class, I don't know that we're going to see a bunch in the 110 range, personally. Unless Cody's in that. That'd probably be the only one I'd have to guess, but...
Yeah.
So... Well, otherwise, though, he's probably pretty close, really.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Ardo put down his goals. Crusher, 95 kilograms. Flask, 50. Hub, 26 kilograms. And Horn, 100 kilograms. If I can get, dude, I would love to get 100 kilograms. That would be awesome. If I could get 100 kilograms, that would make my day on the Horn.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I don't know about his Crusher. His Crusher's probably spot. I mean, I know he's talking about his goals here.
Yeah.
I could see his Hub though being up higher than that. Don't you think? 55.
Yeah.
He's only talking about 57.5 pounds. I don't know why he couldn't be up more than that.
Right. I mean, I think Evan's going to get that much, and he does the claw style. He can't figure out the doorknob either.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, when I thought Ardo, I would immediately put him up in the 70 territory on the Hub, I guess.
Yeah. Me too.
But,
me too, man.
We'll see. He's got that kind of smiley face wink thing going on that stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's holding back. I haven't seen a lot from him lately, but I haven't had a lot of time to look either.
Yeah, he hasn't put out the constant feed of videos since the Bonehill competition went down.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's just trying to keep his numbers under wraps. Sandbagging son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, the gamesmanship in this contest. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It looks like Andrew Pankey agreed with Jesse's assessment.
Yeah. And he's in your boat with the shallow hub being a mystery.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wish we would see some more from some of the other competitors, like Alexi. Don't hear much from him, and then he just shows up and takes it away, so it's kind of hard to say.
Right.
Even Tanner, I haven't seen anything from him in a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guess time will tell.
Yeah. This is what's been happening with Instagram for me lately. Like, I'll pull up Instagram, and it'll be some video that I want to watch, and all of a sudden it disappears, gets buried, and then, like, some other video comes up. You ever have that happen?
Yeah, I do have that. It's like when you first go to, log into it, if you will, it brings up what was there. It's like it's holding on to something from the past, and then it immediately, like, refreshes.
Right.
So you lose sight of everything that was, right in your window, so to speak. So, it's Instagram has always been miserable for me like that. You never know what you're looking at, and it's not even easy to go back and find things.
Right.
Sometimes. So, unless it's tagged just right.
Yeah. Dude, Tanner's going to pull like 250 pounds on the Crusher. Because he did, this is a triple here with 222 that he's got on his Instagram. 222.
Oh, yeah. I could see him doing that. I mean, he's bulked up a bit too. So that's going to No, it'll be huge. Yeah, I could see him taking number one in that event.
Looks like his back is in better shape too. He doesn't look like to be in so much pain during that set as he's working it.
Oh, has he had some back issues? I hadn't heard.
Oh my gosh, yes, man. He looked like he was in some terrible pain at the Arnold this year.
Oh, that sucks.
Terrible.
No, I didn't freaking know. What do you? Oh, okay. I mean, I don't want to,
I don't know.
But that sucks.
I think it's just a long storied history of him with his back.
Okay.
I think it's just a liability for him. And that's part of the reason why he has so much trouble with deadlifts and the axle deadlift because of his back. Like his hands are far stronger than his lower back is healthy.
Yeah. No, I knew that part, but I didn't realize he had like a back injury. I thought it was just he just needed to get his body strength up to par. I didn't know that he'd had actually some issue going on. So that sucks if that's the case.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. Well. Okay. Hopefully that works itself out for him.
Now I go down through the comments on Tanner's video there that I referenced where he was doing 222 for triples, and yes, he says, basically he's saying, is that 255 pounds on the little bighorn behind you, right? And Tanner's like, haha, damn it. I should have put more weight on there to make it look crazy. Nah, it's only like 212. I did so many triples with that today. I don't know what it is about that implement. Sometimes 230 feels fine, and other times it's glued to the ground. That's going to be the wild card this year, I think. So that's pretty interesting statement from Tanner, calling the little bighorn the wild card this year.
It's so hard to say, if people are just kind of saying that stuff to sort of hold back a bit or what.
Yeah, I don't know.
It always makes me, I don't know, it just makes me wonder.
Right.
You see guys posting real regularly and all of a sudden they drop off. It's like they're sitting on something.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. Jerome Bloom didn't remark on our video, did he? I was curious what his predictions would have been.
No, but he sent me the video of Martins Lisis deadlifting on the axle some crazy sick weight. I don't know what it was. I can pull it up real quick.
I saw that. How badass would it be if he showed up to a King Kong venue? Do you imagine?
Yeah, I mean,
we need that kind of publicity.
Right.
That would be awesome.
484, 220 kilograms, 484, and it was a good lockout. I said, good to see a decent lockout coming out of California. When I was that was a good lift. There was some interest. Did you see some of that? There was some back and forth between Tommy Jennings and Terry Hollins. I think it was on that thread on Instagram. Which thread? Which thread?
It was good. So it was with regards to Martin Lisi's his axle pull. I think.
It was okay. So let me pull that up because I wasn't actually on the post.
Okay.
Pull it up.
It was good because I'm not able to reference it right now. I can't. I don't even know how I'd pull it up, but Tommy was spot on. So somebody chimed in about Terry Hollins pulling beyond world record weight on it, and Terry responded saying that he had in fact pulled more than the world record weight, but it wasn't a true Apollon's axle, even though he indicated that it was to the exact same specifications and everything, so it wasn't recognized. Yeah. And then Tommy came in with a little bit of back and forth saying something like, well, get an axle and actually pull more than the world record. And anyway, it was a little bit back and forth, but I thought Tommy was right, literally everything he said. He made some remarks about, hey, why don't you just contact Randall Strauss? He'll probably just send you an axle.
Right.
You don't need to worry about paying for it or shipping.
Since we're here, we might as well, let's go over it word for word. So this guy, O.Langy, says, didn't Terry Hollins set the record at 240 kilograms? And Terry Hollins comes in and says, yeah, but the grip nerds cry. The axle wasn't made by Iron Mind, even though it was exact same spec and perfectly smooth. To get an Iron Mind bar over here would cost a fortune. Damn near got 250 kilograms after it. Was all judged by Giants Live and official Strongman too.
So one of those remarks definitely pissed me off right away, and I think it got Tommy a little bit too.
Yeah.
Tommy's obviously more. Okay, go ahead.
Let's hear what Tommy says. Hey, Terry, maybe send Randall Strawson from Ironmine an email. You might find that he's quite generous to strength athletes of high levels and send you an axle for free. Tell him Tommy Jennings sent you. And if you're not up for the task, I'd be glad to speak with Randy personally about your limiting financial situation. Maybe even help out on some shipping costs. I would love to see what you could actually do in a comp on a new Ironmine axle. But first, you're going to need to stop with that grip nerd bullshit comment. Because, yes, the equipment does matter. If you want to beat the current Ironmine Apollon's axle record, then you have to do it on the Ironmine Apollon's axle. I'm not sure how there is any confusion on that, and I totally agree. I don't know who, dude, I don't even remember who Terry Hollins is.
You know what? I'm just going to let you have that. Yeah, who is he? Because when you pull that kind of statement about the grip nerd stuff, you lose some credibility with me.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely, Tommy Jennings. He's clearly more team arm lifting these days. That's fine. Mm-hmm. We're still fighting the same fight, and I completely agree with him all the way. It's like, put up or shut up. I didn't appreciate that remark at all. I thought that was dumb. And then Tommy just kept going, and he was just getting in punch after punch on that one. In my opinion, he was right all the way around.
Yeah,
no two ways about it. So, but I agree. As far as Tommy's concerned, I'll chip in some money shipping too. I'll put that out there right now. Because that's just freaking ridiculous. It's like, pull it on this then. If you got it, do it. What are you complaining about?
Right. And you can't tell me there's not an Ironmine axle over there somewhere.
Oh, my God. A world's strongest man competitor doesn't have access to freaking, give me a break.
Right.
I mean,
that's
seriously,
like,
it's not that
some
much.
Serious,
right?
like, Rich Williams action right there.
Well, here's the deal. If this guy calls up Randy Strawson, it's exactly like Tommy said. I got to think that Randy Strawson's just going to send him the shit. It's like, here, go ahead, break the record and send him like a number 4 to shut 2 while you're at it. I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. What are you whining about? That's just such a weak-ass argument. You know? I mean, I don't know exactly what it costs to ship it over there, but we're not talking about thousands of dollars or anything. Mm-hmm. It's a piece of pipe.
So let's go back to Terry Holland's response to Tommy Jennings' Texas Bender. He goes, "Lighten up, will ya? If someone called me a strength nerd, which I am, do you think I'd act like a woman on her period about it? So, no, I don't need to stop, as it's just having some banter. Obviously, that's lost on some people. It's not ballsy, as you put it. I'm sure if you spoke to Ode or Randy about me, both of which I know very well, they'd both tell you what kind of a person I am, and I'm super respectful to everybody. I've never claimed an Ironmine axle deadlift world record, just an axle deadlift world record. Same as Eddie's 500-kilogram deadlift was done on an Oki bar as opposed to a Texas bar, which are more different than the 2 axle bars we're talking about. No one cares, as it's just an amazing feat of strength." And also, if you read Martine's post, he said, "double overhand grip axle deadlift." There was no mention of the bar, so that is why O. Lange probably asked the question. So I don't know what this is going to get into, but some of these posts are pretty darn long. I invite people to read these, and I probably will read them after the show. But it looks like there's some pretty cool details in there. And I know firsthand that when Tommy gets on something he's highly interested in and emotionally tied to, that he doesn't back down. So it's going to be an interesting read.
But he's really well written, and he does a good job with that. I wish some of the other more outspoken people would jump in on that one, like Mike Rinderly, for example, was interested. It's like, just go in there and throw down a little bit, because that pissed me. I mean, you say grip nerds. Yeah. That is disrespectful,
Well, it is, because it basically, what I hear when I say that is, it's people that are only good enough to compete at grip and not anything else. And I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's what he's saying or not. But, I mean, facts are facts. And the way that grip sport is set up is you have to compete on the implement that is being contested. It's not... You don't just use any old axle and then take credit for the world record. And this isn't just against Terry Hollins. This is the same thing that Rich Williams does all the time, is he keeps saying that he has the axle world record because he did it on some other type of axle. So, or maybe he doesn't say that, but the way that he comes off, that's the point that he's basically trying to make, is about his axle prowess, but he does it on another axle that is not an iron mine axle. And, like, that's just a training lift. That's not a world record. Go to a contest, compete on the actual implement, and then you can take claim of the world record. But until you do that, then it's just a training lift.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. Yep.
Either way, Martins did an excellent lift. He locked it out strong. I don't have the volume out, so I don't know if there's a down call. I don't even know what was going on here. But, you know, it was a little quick. It wasn't like an overpowering hold or anything like that.
No, it was quick. It looked to me like if he'd have held it a millisecond longer, he probably would have lost it. But that was my take. But nonetheless, still a good lift.
Right.
So, but it's cool that he's actually chasing that record.
Yes, he definitely got a legitimate lockout, and which is always refreshing to see. And I mean, 4 red 25-kilogram plates on each side is a pretty serious lift. So.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, it would be cool if he showed up, because there's going to be a California King Kong.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, maybe he will show up and just play around a little bit. Who knows?
Well, I'd love to see what he's got. You know, I mean, he pulled good on the Saxon bar. You know what his thick bar is now. You know, it's those other trendy ones. I'm not sure that I don't know that I've ever seen him do anything with a hub, but he's bound to have something decent in him.
I think he did some hub, at least some Iron Mine hub or Grip Genie hub when he visited Juji and Tom that one time.
Yeah, I'm sure he must have pulled on it.
Yeah.
But, I guess the only thing up in the air is maybe the angle. But still, I bet you'd have some seriously good numbers. Yep. I don't know that I'd give him overall, though. I couldn't change that even if he did go for it. I don't think he puts enough into it.
Right. Yeah. I could see him doing something where I could see him doing like a really easy second lift and then put like a 20 or a 10-kilogram jump on there.
Yeah.
You know that kind of mistake that people make sometimes.
Yeah.
Like something feels really easy, so they throw 50 pounds on there. Like I remember John Menino like smashed 150 pounds or something like that on the 2-hand pinch at the very first contest that I ever went to, and he's like, "We'll throw 50 pounds on there," and then he couldn't even get it barely off the ground. So it's just a mistake. You know, it's a mistake that people make when they're not used to dealing with foreign, not foreign, I guess that's not the right word, but like an implement that they don't train on. They don't know how quickly things can get difficult. So they make an extremely huge jump, and it ends up hurting them. I could see that being what would get Martins at a contest by, and maybe not even making a 10-kilo jump, maybe just not realizing that he needs to stick with 2.5 kilos versus 5, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's where the grip nerd has that experience and advantage over someone that's probably altogether stronger than they are. But the experience, it's just the experience of knowing that you have to stay cautious and deliberate in your jumps. Big difference maker there.
I'm surprised you didn't get downwind of that thread before just now.
Nope, had no idea.
As soon as I saw it.
Yep, no. In fact, Jerome sent it to me, and I never even clicked on the video. I just watched the video in my inbox on Instagram. I didn't even click on the video, so I didn't see the thread discussion at all.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works on Instagram, but it seems like when something like that comes through, if you're following somebody on Instagram and they post, it's like they're first on the thing. That's like the first remark you see.
Yeah.
At least it's how it kind of works on mine. That's what tripped me off right away.
Right. Like you'll see comments from people that you follow and that you have more interaction with. It's like they want you to see that someone you know took part in it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like that happens sometimes when I'm following like grip strength, the hashtag grip strength or grip training. Someone that I won't even have any idea who they are will put a video up and then I'll see like a comment from maybe Dolly Chong or somebody that I do follow, and maybe the person's a California guy and friends with Dolly, so he's automatically going to comment, and I see Dolly's comment below there. So that kind of stuff I'm very familiar with. I'm sure I probably would have seen Tommy's name pop up if I would have clicked on the video sooner.
He's a hard one not to read what he puts, because he's really witty, and not afraid to be a little controversial. So when I see him post something, you're just drawn to it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So, he's a lot of fun. So I wonder if he's competing in King Kong this year. I wonder if he's competing in King Kong.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything from Tommy except for like campfire facts or whatever he says, campfire tips or whatever. Have you seen any of those?
Oh, that popped up recently. I didn't get to watch the clip, but I saw that he posted something. So
yeah.
When I think of the King Kong events, I guess I don't think of anything that really favors him so much. You know. I don't put him as a huge stick bar guy. I think his one-hand pinch would probably be pretty decent. Mm-hmm. But other than that, those individual events, I guess I don't know where I'd put him on that, really.
Right. For what I've seen, I'd say probably 90 to 95 pounds on the flask, maybe 185 on the crusher. On the dumb hub, he probably has never even had his hand on it. And then the little bighorn, he's probably up over 200 pounds. He's got strong wrists, so he can probably engage those somehow into that lift. So
yeah, you're probably right on with those numbers that you guessed. Actually, yeah, I could see that. Maybe a little more on the flask. I thought his one hand pinch was pretty decent. I can't remember, but
maybe
it's probably right on. Yeah. Oh, well, still good numbers.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what he would. I don't know exactly if he would compete or not, because he said something about after the one meet, he was gonna take some time off from grip or whatever. I'm trying to remember what he said. I think because he was going to go to Russia and didn't end up going, and then he was going to stop competing for a while or something like that. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, either way. What else do we have to cover here, Alan? I know that we were going to try to keep this one a little bit shorter this week without a lot of fresh content and just responding to what was being posted. So anything else that you'd like to cover before we wrap the show up? No,
I think that's it, actually.
Oh. All right. Cool, man. Well, the show is yours. Take it away, brother.
All right. Well, that's it for episode 111 of This Week in Grip. Everybody make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. And we'll talk to you next week. See you later.